Now it's time for inviting our next speaker, Mr. Pradeep Sundaram. His outstanding achievement of taking 10 wickets in a single innings in 1985-86 Ranji Trophy season, one of the most celebrated performances in the history of Indian domestic cricket. A right-arm fast-medium bowler known for his consistency and ability to extract movement from the pitch, his bowling was often characterized by accuracy and the ability to break partnerships, making him a key asset in any team that he played for. 10 for 78. Yes, 10 wickets, 78 runs in single innings. An astonishing bowling performance that is still talked about in the domestic cricket circles. Well, now the topic that he is going to talk about, it's a very interesting topic. A lot of youngsters are sitting here, and especially for the bowlers to, it will be a treat to your ears, because who is a fast bowler? Is it the speed? Is it the line and length? Or is it the stamina to bowl? Is it the stamina to bowl longer spells, or how are you going to bowl? What do you look in fast bowlers? To speak and get more light on that, I would like to invite Mr. Pradeep Sundaram to speak on talent hunt for fast bowlers.
Thank you. At the outset, let me thank the Legends Club for having invited me here. It's been a privilege. I've come here quite often with the state teams as a coach, but never had this opportunity to speak to or address a gathering here. Thank you, Marcus Kuto, and of course, Milind, for inviting me here tonight. The topic that I'm trying to address is going about the selection of a fast bowler, or how do we go about looking for fast bowlers. There has been a lot of activities happening in different state associations. Talent search. I was one of the scouting members for Assam recently, about a couple of years back. We went about, almost all over Assam looking for fast bowling, especially fast bowlers. And yes, there were a number of them potentially good, looked good, because when you go for a talent search, you usually tend to provide them with 6 to 8 balls to bowl. But there are other factors involved where you need to address. One way of the searching is by organizing camps like the talent search. And the other, which I would personally see, what happens when you search for talent, you spot certain players. Yeah, and you make a tick, yes, he's got the potential of becoming a fast bowler. But then we have to also consider at what age group he is. A 24-year-old guy comes, bowls quick, fair enough. But what is this? Where is he going to stand in the long run? But the same thing happens with a 16-year-old or a 14-year-old boy. What happens is we have time to groom them. Technically, physically, and even mentally for that matter. Now there are two types, as I said. There are two ways of looking at it. One is you go hunting for them. The other is you identify a youngster. When you identify a youngster, you come to know by the zeal that he possesses, by the enthusiasm that he has within him to become a fast bowler. Yes, somebody comes to me, he says, "Sir, I want to be a fast bowler. I can do this, I can do that." Fair enough, good. Encourage such guys. We must, in fact, not you, we must go into a little depth into their as an individual. Go into the family background, check the DNAs, find out the height of the parents, what are their family background like, whether they are well placed, not. If we start considering all these aspects, like it may sound like cloning a bowler, but then that works. That has happened with a very senior Australian fast bowler. He was totally cloned from the age of, I think, 13 till he played for Australia. That was nobody else but Brett. He was always under the eyes of the Australian Cricket Board. And he went on to play so many years for Australia as one of their leading bowlers. So this is one way of looking at it. And the other is when you spot a talent. Once you spotted a talent, then you should be ready to go ahead with the procedures, the process. That is conducting what we call as musculoskeletal screening of an individual. Now, it's more of a medical term or a physiotherapical term, but it is very important to know when you conduct a screening called as musculoskeletal screening, what happens is the physio analyzes the strengths and the weaknesses of that player. Now, if you're looking at fast bowlers, we need to know his lower back, legs, shoulders, arms, how good they are. Once you've done that, the physio along with the trainer can work on those players to strengthen their weaknesses, bring it in par with the other body parts, because usually any human being is not one solid personality. He has his physical weaknesses. Maybe the hamstring is poor, weak, the glutes are weak, quadriceps are weak. There are certain examples where I've come across where there's a difference in the length of the leg, the length of the hands. So all these things at a younger age can be worked on. And once you have done that, the next process, I think, should be looking at their physical aspects, like whether the bowler possesses certain muscles within himself, that is, muscle fibers called as fast twitch muscles and slow twitch muscles. Now, fast twitch muscles are those muscles, fibers, where you get instant speed. A guy possessing the more of fast twitch muscles, or it's also called as red muscle fibers. Those individuals are good at sprints, because all sprinting activities, because the fast twitch muscle fibers act only for a limited period of time. It doesn't have the power to power of endurance. But similarly, there is also something called as the slow twitch fibers. Now, these are endurance prone. So, to be a fast bowler, you need to have a good combination of both. And when that happens, with proper technical, I would say, a person having good technical knowledge on what is fast bowling. Under his guidance, yes, you can develop a small-time boy into a good fast bowler in years to come. It's a long process. Fast bowling is not, because it's a multifunctional activity. You're running straight, for a side-on bowler, he has to turn into a side-on position, again turn, twist back, go forward. So it's a multifunctional activity. For that, the key points are strength, which we, as I said, can be obtained through musculoskeletal screening of an individual. Identifying the fast twitch muscles, which is very important to generate the speed. Slow twitch muscles, again, muscle fibers, I would say, again, to create endurance, whether that bowler will be able to bowl over a period of time. In today's cricket, it's not happening because of a lot of instant cricket coming into play. So what happens is everybody practice in that form. Okay, I'll bowl 8 overs. Okay, I'll bowl 10 overs. That's it. Or I'll bowl 4 overs to be into getting into the shorter format. Nobody wants to bowl a 20-over spell, which has been happening. Kapil Paji has bowled such spells for India. Now that's become, it's not functioning at all. Nobody wants to. That is only because of the change in the scenario in cricket. With instant cricket taking because cricket has become, as Nadeem Bhai said, commercial. It's played for the audience. It's not played for, it's become a thing of the past, that urge to win, the urge to perform. So, when we are looking at creating a fast bowler, or we have to examine all these functions, like, as I said, how good he is. Now, coming back just a step, I would like to quote something. I was asking somebody in one of the selection camps, fast bowling in Assam, and I said, what are you looking at a fast bowler? So the answers I got, it was pretty shocking. Good action, good line and length, good movement. I said, when you're going to pick a fast bowler, you have to look at the pace of the bowler, not this. These things can be developed, but pace cannot be developed. Yes, increase in pace can happen partially, but you can't just simply develop a fast bowler. He has to have those inborn qualities in him. So this is, अपन हिंदी में जैसा बोलता है नजरिया, that has to change. If you're focusing on that, then keep your focus fixed on developing a fast bowler, not just a medium pacer. Now there again, in fast bowling, or in bowling basically, there are 6 different phases. The first phase is the run-up phase, where a bowler runs into bowl. The second phase is called as the gather phase or the loading phase, where one gets into the act of bowling. Then comes your back foot landing. At back foot landing, a coach determines what type of a bowler he is, whether he is side-on, semi-open, front-on, or semi-side-on. And then comes a front foot landing. Usually in fast bowlers, when front foot lands, there is something called bracing that occurs. And that results in transfer of body weight towards the target. After front foot landing comes the release phase, where the bowler releases the ball, and the 6th phase is called as the follow-through phase, Now, when you're picking up a bowler, the first thing you need to look, I would like to look is, how does he load the ball? And then go into reverse shaping and get things sorted out. Because loading is something which is very important for a fast bowler. How he loads, where he loads, behind his head, in front of his head, across the body, away from the body, whatever. And all this is a result of poor running technique. If a bowler is running with his arms across, he is bound to load here. If he is running with his arms coming down, he is bound to go behind his head. Because in motion, you cannot change your body positions, your arm movements. So that can be worked out later on. But first, to identify, I would always like to identify the loading aspect of a bowler. Because there I know, if his loading is good, the other things will fall in place. So, nothing more to say. I would like to thank the audience as well as D.Y. Patil, yeah, obviously, for making this facility available for us. And wishing Kapil Paji a very happy 66th birthday. I have had the opportunities of playing with him many a times. Great human being, very helpful, very, you go to him with a question, he will sit and talk to you and go into the details of what is asked to him. So again, taking this opportunity to wish him a very happy birthday. Thank you.
I'm Gulam Pargar.
Welcome.
And Pradeep Sundaram, I have played with him university and against him in clubs. I had a question on him.
For him?
Yeah, for Pradeep.
Yeah.
The bouncer in 1 over, is it compulsory? And who is it? Is come from you or from the coach?
Sorry, come again?
One bouncer in an over. You are fond of bowling bouncers. Yeah. So I am asking you, it was from you or from your coach?
No. It's these things are something called as natural instincts of a fast bowler.
Yeah.
If you do not have that instinct, you can never be a fast bowler. I will give you an example on this. I was playing Shivaji Park Gymkhana versus Rajasthan Sports Club at Shivaji Park Gymkhana. And Shivaji Park Gymkhana had scored some 67 runs with Ajit Wadekar and everybody in the team. And Rajasthan at the end of the day were 65 for 9.
Okay.
They needed 2 runs to equal or 3 to win. And my dad walks in. My dad, for the audience, was a former test cricketer, played for India. And he walks into bat at number 11. I bowled, watching my dad bat, naturally that father-son, this thing is there. So I bowled a ball well up to him and he had a big swing at it. Luckily for me, it didn't hit the blade. Just moved out. And I said, no, 2 runs to win. And if this ball had if he had to make impact with the bat, it would have gone for a 6 because it was a wild swing. So the next ball, when I went back, gave it a thought. I said, it's okay, I'm playing cricket. And I bowled a bouncer to him. And he got out, fending at gully.
Okay, good.
And we won the match. So on the way back, Ajit Wadekar asked me, "Kai re, Baba na bouncer takto ka?" But immediately, my dad walks to me and he says, "Well done, beta. That's the spirit." So it was a compliment.
For this, I'm with you because they should not cup the bowlers or bouncer. It is a weapon of one bowler.
One has to use it.
Yeah.
I've got him out CCI versus Gymkhana. Thank you, friends. Any more, any questions? Yeah.
Later on we'll have, when all are finished, we'll have a press. Thank you.
We are going to have a Q&A later, but first we want the speakers to share their thoughts on the topics that they are going to talk about. Thank you so much, Pradeep sir.